Cheating.
Today on X-Play, it's time for a little role-playing.
I play the leading man.
And we don't mean dressing up like a schoolgirl.
I like it better that way. Wouldn't you rather see for yourself?
Get ready for an all-RPG special. It's game time.
Prepare to be reviewed.
Adam Sessler, Morgan Webb.
Prepare to be reviewed.
Prepare to be reviewed. This is X-Play.
Hello and welcome to X-Play. Break out your 20-sided dice and your 12-sided dice and your 10-sided dice and your 8-sided dice, because today's show is entirely devoted to RPGs.
Now, if this were Al Jazeera, RPGs would stand for rocket-propelled grenades, and the whole show would be about that, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'd definitely DVR it, even if it conflicted with an episode of What About Brian?
But this is X-Play, and RPG stands for role-playing games, the games where you create a new fantasy identity for yourself, thus allowing you to escape from the mundane reality of hosting a show in the Digital Plus Fun Pack cable tier.
Today, we'll tell you about the latest RPGs you should be playing, like Dragon Quest VIII, a Japanese import so good it almost makes up for Pearl Harbor.
We'll also look at the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, with its gigantic world that'll make you want to unleash your inner Shackleton.
Poor man's Francis Drake.
Yeah.
And we'll learn about a disturbing new illness that's afflicting RPG players, and then we'll have representatives from Kaiser Permanente on hand to answer your questions.
But we begin with a game from the Final Fantasy series, which is traditionally known for two things: characters of indeterminate sexuality and games that X-Play doesn't really like. But this one is different, except for the characters of indeterminate sexuality. It's Final Fantasy XII.
You know what? I hate to admit it, but I sort of missed that music. Over the years, we've come to associate the words Final Fantasy with a lot of different things. Giant chickens,
Come together.
androgyny,
I know it.
and terrible pop music. But we've never really felt like the actual games lived up to the hype. Well, we're happy to report that Final Fantasy XII is the real deal. The main character this time is Vaughn, a disturbingly girlish street urchin from the peaceful country of Dalmasca.
Nice to meet you.
When his homeland is attacked and the king is assassinated, Van has to team up and save the world with your usual assortment of good-looking rogues,
I play the leading man. Who else?
rebellious princesses,
Don't interrupt me. I'm thinking.
and Icelandic playboy bunnies.
Have you finished?
For the record, that race of long-eared women is called Viera, and I haven't had such impure thoughts about a rabbit since Bugs Bunny dressed in drag. Childhood is confusing. Unlike other Final Fantasy games, this installment doesn't feature a sappy melodramatic love story.
I like it better that way.
Believe me, so do we. This is a story of high-minded political intrigue with really cool airship battles. And don't worry, folks, we won't spoil any more of the game's involving storyline.
Wouldn't you rather see for yourself? Of course.
If you haven't already noticed, Final Fantasy XII is freaking gorgeous.
It is magnificent.
The cutscenes are feature film quality, and the locales are rendered with an almost unheard of level of detail. Every nook and cranny of the game is absolutely teeming with life. But like every great piece of art, Part 12 is no stranger to controversy. When fans found out that Square Enix replaced the turn-based battles with a combat system similar to those found in online RPGs like EverQuest, pasty-faced geeks everywhere went ballistic. Well, we have good news. The combat system in Part 12 blows away the fighting setup from every other Final Fantasy game. Trust us, once you get the hang of it, you will never want to go back.
You're in good hands.
As an added bonus, that means no more random encounters. You'll actually be able to see your enemies walking around the battlefield. If you want to fight them, run up and start whacking away. If not, you can keep on walking. It's that simple, people.
Ready.
Our only complaint is the overly complicated license system. Allow me to explain. You see, when you acquire a new item like a fancy shield, you can't simply use it right away. You'll first have to earn a license to use it, using license points that you earn in battle.
It's annoying.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm sorry.
Okay, That's it for the tactical mumbo-jumbo. Like every Final Fantasy game, the outfits are more homoerotic than 3 seasons of water polo.
Come on. What do you think?
I think we need to get you a shirt. But some cheesy costumes aren't enough to keep us from finally falling in love with this fantasy. It's one of the best RPGs we've played in a long, long time.
I thank you.
No, thank you. Final Fantasy XII gets a 5 out of 5.
Speaking of androgynous characters, whatever happened to Grace Jones?
You know Seal?
Yeah.
That's what's happened to Grace Jones.
Oh.
Up next, Dragon Quest VIII, and later, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion on X-Play.
You don't have to change what you're about to change your future. Check out my friend Kendall. She's got an amazing career where she gets to use her G for.
One's lawful good, one's neutral evil. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play's All RPG Special. And we're running down the top role-playing games to save you the trouble of figuring out what to play. So in the future, you should do something for us. Might I suggest buying something off my Amazon wish list? I might further suggest that said item be the Makita 4200 circular saw.
Our next RPG comes to us from Japan. At this point, some shows you would throw a shot of a Japanese flag in the screen to make a joke about overly formal businessmen or bad drivers reading pornographic manga with one hand and taking lots of pictures with the other. But we're not gonna do that because the Japanese people have given us some great RPGs and they deserve a break, even though their country is kind of silly and makes us laugh. Here's our review of Dragon Quest VIII.
Do you remember your first time? You know what I mean. The first time you ventured out upon endless plains to battle the unknown terror that awaits every step. The first time you stepped upon uncharted lands filled with men whose tongues loosened with the sound of gold. The first time you grabbed a fistful of feathers as the wind whipped through all 7 polygons of your hair. The moment that it all came together and all fell apart into endless night. If RPGs are the stories of the video game world, then this game would be a sonnet for anyone who's ever been in love, one turn at a time. Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King, breathes new life into a classic design. Better known for its 2D journeys, this latest quest breaks through the final dimension with astounding results. But love takes more than a sumptuous facade not to scare the fickle heart of a fanboy.
Cool, blimey!
Like that old high school sweetheart of so many years ago, Dragon Quest hasn't changed a bit from its days on the NES. Sure, she might have grown her hair out, but she still wears a fighting system the same way you remember. Simple and balanced. Besides a few bells and whistles, Dragon Quest avoids the soul harvesting and grid orbs of other games to focus on leveling. Don't think of them as monsters, but as old friends from days past, each with their own look and playful style. Colorful bosses with larger-than-life attitudes
I hate this tender.
impede your every path. Journey as a soldier without a country, with a king tainted by magic and a princess without her beauty.
Hey, the old princess is back.
Other lost souls yearning for adventure and excitement will join your quest to lift a curse and bring justice to the evil jester Dolmagus. Scenes unfold before you with a bit of mystery,
Come with me.
a sly tongue,
Are you a complete fool?
and a Cockney accent.
An epic tale full of laughter, thrills, and tears.
The story may be thin, but the portions are plentiful.
Why, it's enormous!
On the far-flung fields of Dragon Quest, adventure only comes in one size: epic. With the wind at your back and a song in your sail, explore cities with a look and feel all of their own. Rolling hills will tempt you with the call of the siren's song, every horizon clinging to a sheer veil of mystery. While away the hours at the casino or partake of the arena battles with your own brigade of monsters. With only a whistle, your army of frightful fighters will come to your aid. Few games have held on to their roots while expanding their world like Dragon Quest. At the end of the night, you'll want to save the last dance for this game. That's why we're giving Dragon Quest VIII for the PS2 5 kisses out of 5. Thanks for the memories.
It's great when something can keep what's good about itself, yet change for the better.
Like when the Today Show got rid of Katie Couric.
Or when Crunch Berries got rid of the yellow crunchy pieces and came out with Oops, all berries.
Never understood the oops part. It's like, if the berries are good, why would you say oops? Also, if it was some production mistake at the factory that caused this, isn't that a gigantic error which warrants more than an oops?
I always thought they should come up with my bad, all charms.
Coming up, RPGs can be hazardous to your health. And later, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion on X-Play.
I'm Layla Kaylee, and it's time to start the feed.
So go to my website now.
Between them, they have 15 hit points. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play's big old pile of RPG.
That makes this episode sound like a bad thing.
No, it doesn't. It's the RPG special, right? Well, we've got so much RPG stuff, it's a big old pile of RPG, and what could be better than that? Yeah, it's our flaming bag of RPG. I like that.
I'm sure marketing will love it. You know, as rich and engrossing as RPGs are, like any other genre of game, they can be played too much, and the consequences can be very serious. So pay close attention to our special report on RPG Ridiculopathy.
We here at X-Play have endured many RPGs, from the good to the bad and the ugly. Oh God, turn it off. Years of horrifying conditioning to bad role-playing has led to a rare medical condition. RPG Ridiculopathy. Real life and RPG mesh into a nightmarish world from which you can't escape, and sometimes you don't want to. We now turn to renowned fake German scientist, Morgan Webb. When playing the RPG, a patient will first notice a tingle here, in the back of the neck. But soon, the terror begins. The common symptoms can be recognized early. Common household tasks can transform into struggles between life and the death.
Egad, stupid toaster! I summon Intern.
You win!
As the infected patient builds a more powerful character, delusions of grandeur will corrupt the overconfident player.
You're not on the list.
Behold my celebrity. You lose.
The final stage of this crippling disease is when the player loses touch with both reality and the RPG universe. This is when he will engage in battles with creatures that don't even exist.
Suck it!
Death to varmints.
You lose again!
As you can see, the condition can lead to devastating consequences. So, if you are playing more than 200 hours a week of RPG, MMORPG, or, God forbid, live action RPG, stop and go play something else, like a card battle game.
Full house.
oui. Gambling is for me.
Do you know there have been 8 seasons of Celebrity Poker Showdown?
Do I? What don't I know about that show? Okay, go ahead. Give me a season and a week.
Season 6, week 4.
Anthony Anderson, Cheryl Hines, Amber Tamblyn, Alex Trebek, and Michael Vartan.
That's weird.
That is weird. Cheryl Hines going all in on a pair of 3s.
Coming up, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion on XPlay.
What happens when you take 12 snowboarding animals and force them to work in the same hotel? The Block, series premiere Monday at 10, only on G4.
Go to G4TV.com. Always fresh, always new, always plugged in.
They've got a standing invite to Noah Wiley's D&D game. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to XPlay's look at all things RPG, or as I like to call them, ribbigs.
One of the best things about RPGs is that they can take so long to play. You can use the same RPG for several months as your excuse to get out of social obligations.
I'm still telling people I can't go to their Shabbat dinner because I'm playing Ultima 4.
When it comes to giving you hours and hours of excuse-making bang for your buck, not many RPGs can stand up to our next game, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion.
Tired of real life? Want to get away for a while? Maybe a week, a month, longer? Here you go. Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion is one of the most insidious social life-destroying games ever unleashed upon an unsuspecting public. Just the colossally comprehensive character creation can consume clock time. You can make just about anyone you can think of. Once you've decided who you are, you're thrown in prison and Patrick Stewart explains the story.
You are the one from my dreams.
When Picard says quest, I say, how long? So it's off into the world to find, wow, it's really pretty here. Hey, look, ruins to explore. I wonder what's going on in town. Horsey, oh, Horsey. Was there something I had to do? Oh yeah, Patrick Stewart wants me to save his illegitimate son and close magical gates that allow evil things from the Oblivion dimension into our world and make the sky red. But who cares about that when there are artists trapped in their own paintings?
Where did you come from? You look real enough.
Oblivion is all about doing whatever you want to do. Your character skills improve with use, so the game automatically tailors itself to your playstyle. Do you prefer a two-fisted master of the blade? A lock-breaking kleptomaniac? A supernatural spell slinger? It's all here. Go nuts. The province of Cyrodiil is crammed full of interesting stuff. Oblivion nails the living world better than just about any other game. It's real easy to end up with RPG ADD. You can play for dozens of hours without even touching the main quest. Join a guild or 2.
It is my honor to welcome you into our ranks as a Knight Brother of the Blades.
Pick the landscape clean of useful foliage, or stick your nose into everyone's business.
Get lost or I'll pull your arm off.
Hundreds of people inhabit the land, and they'll all have something to say.
Show me what you've got!
And most of them have problems they're too lazy, stupid, or incompetent to solve for themselves.
It was too much. Too fast. We were overwhelmed.
They even talk to each other once in a while.
Seems that these are turbulent times in the land of the Dunmer.
Bye.
You've got my ear.
Oh, okay, that's a little creepy. Come on, guys, go away so I can break into the guard captain's room.
Hello there.
Okay, well, I'll just ruin your dinner then.
Hi there.
Wow, you guys took that a lot better than I thought you would.
Hi.
The full voice acting, countless quests, and beautiful graphics are great, but the combat is probably the biggest improvement over Morrowind. Satisfaction abounds as the baddies crumble, whether you're setting them magically ablaze or giving them a taste of the cold steel of your broadsword. With linear cookie-cutter Japanese RPGs clogging the game industry's arteries, Oblivion is like a quadruple bypass of awesome. Buy it and tell your loved ones you'll miss them. You won't be seeing them for a while. A 5 out of 5.
Now it's time to go over what we did today so we can make sure we're all on the same page. It's the X-Play Replay. Final Fantasy XII got a 5 because it was really, really good, and 5 is the best score that we have.
Dragon Quest VIII got a 5 because it's the coolest thing from Japan since that robot dog who automatically vacuums your house.
I think that's 2 different products.
Oh.
And Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion got a 5 because of reasons we told you, like, seriously 2 minutes ago. If you can't remember, that's really not our problem.
Speaking of problems, it's time to hear one of your problems with a video viewer mail. Today's viewer mail comes from Rob Kerr.
Yo, what's up, Adam and Morgan? My name's Rob Kerr. I'm a hardcore PC gamer, and I was wondering which MMORPG to get. I was thinking of Guild Wars, Neverwinter Nights 2, or World of Warcraft. Which one should I get?
You are a self-proclaimed hardcore PC gamer, and you don't know what game to buy?
Dude, you're not even softcore. You're not even like mildly suggestive sexual situations.
People, our linguistic terms only remain meaningful if we vigilantly enforce them. If you know someone irresponsibly slinging around the word hardcore, send them over to g4tv.com/xplay. There they can actually learn something about games by watching all of our reviews. Then, and only then, will they have earned the right to call themselves hardcore.
All right, and in answer to your question, well, A, Neverwinter Nights 2, that's not an MMO, so that's really cut out. It's got an M and an O, but doesn't have the other M. Okay, Guild Wars, World of Warcraft.
I think we need to go with World of Warcraft for you, my hardcore friend.
So, yes, especially if you're hardcore, and if you're hardcore, you probably would already be playing the World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Anyway, this double whammy of redirecting our viewers like cattle while also making fun of them can only be found here at X-Play.
We love you too.
Today on X-Play,